Namo Adita Phat. Thanks so much for joining me for our daily practice check-in. Listen, listen, listen. This wonderful sound calls us back to our true home. The third mindfulness training. Aware of the suffering caused by sexual misconduct, I vow to cultivate responsibility and learn ways to protect the safety and integrity of individuals, families, couples, and society. I'm determined not to engage in sexual relations without love and a long-term commitment. To preserve the happiness of myself and others, I'm determined to respect my commitments and the commitments of others. I will do everything in my power to protect children from sexual abuse and to prevent couples and families from being broken by sexual misconduct. For our Dharma lesson, we've been reading Abundant, Exalted, Immeasurable by Ajahn Pasanno. And we're continuing in chapter 5, questions and answers. Question. When there is a lot of pain in the body, it's difficult to maintain right effort. Yet sometimes through patient endurance, the pain lessens. Can you speak about right effort and the connection between right effort and samadhi? Answer. It's good to refresh our memory as to what right effort actually is. When we conceive of right effort, we use the word effort, and of course, effort is about doing, struggling, getting out there and energetically being assiduous and diligent, which is sometimes good. But the way the Buddha defines right effort is effort for decreasing unwholesome mental states that have arisen. Effort for the preventing of unwholesome mental states that have yet to arise is also right effort. Effort for bringing into being of wholesome states that have not yet arisen is right effort. And effort for the maintaining of wholesome states that have arisen is right effort. It might sound a bit convoluted, but it's a very clear description once you get your mind around it. When the Buddha defines it, it's all about actual mental states. Right effort is not about how diligent we appear externally or how much we flog ourselves. It's about attending to the quality of the mind, wholesome or unwholesome, and how we relate to the unwholesome or unskillful states, whether we support them, buy into them, or exacerbate them at the expense of undermining the wholesome. Similarly, with wholesome states, how do we encourage those wholesome mental states, those bright states of mind? How do we maintain them without clamping down, shutting down, or worrying? That worrying is in itself an unwholesome mental state. In dealing with pain, it's helpful to pay attention and see the difference between the physical sensation and the mental elaborations around the pain. The physical sensation of pain is oftentimes telling us something like, I'm tired, I want out of here. Sometimes as stress, or something is stressed and pain is a warning, trying to get our attention. There are many levels to the physical side. Some of it is bearable. Some of it may not be necessary to bear and needs to be adjusted, dealt with, or ameliorated in some way. On the mental level, what is the reaction? What is being added? What is the level of fear or aversion? Pain can be very threatening. It can also be very useful. It definitely gets our attention. There is an immediacy there. So we can even use pain to challenge the mind and the assumptions that we have, bringing a certain urgency to practice. There's no single response. We need to be balanced. We need to see what is a genuine call of distress that needs to be heeded and what we can just be patient with, bearing with the pain and directing attention to the mind itself. Sometimes with pain, we can simply direct attention to the physical sensation of the pain. Sometimes we can absorb into the pain and the mind can be very, very peaceful. We can be inside the sensation and find that the mind becomes very cool and bright. There are many ways of responding. It's a very interesting aspect of the practice. Having physical bodies, we are always going to experience some sort of pain. We can learn a lot about how much we expect, how much we push, or how much we worry or fear through seeing our reactions to pain. It's something that's very natural. Having pain is a natural part of the human condition, and it's important to learn how to deal with it skillfully. I think one of the main things is gaining confidence that pain can be worked with, and that there is a point at which the appropriate way of working with it is to back off, rest, or do something about it. At other times, we can just go into the pain. For many years of my early monastic life, pain, illness, and injury were fairly constant features of my meditation. I had the opportunity and had to use it. I had to become familiar with pain, and I find that that has held me in good stead. May all beings be well. May all beings be happy. May all beings be peaceful. Namo Adida Phat. Thanks so much for joining me today.